Forster football improves to 8-0 overall and a perfect 7-0 in Midwest Conference play. I'm Adam Plager. Alongside the head coach of the Forsters, Jim Catanzaro, another monster day offensively, over 60 points scored the last 2 weeks. It's been very balanced. The passing game against Ripon and then the running game. Just speak about the balance right now in this offensive group.
Yeah, when you've got a senior group of players, it's a lot easier to call plays because you know what they can do and they know the playbook. And I think that they saw what was out there for them in terms of some alignments. And Josh in the RPO game was really good again on Saturday, and that really helped us have a lot of success. I think we were probably a little bit more run heavy in the red zone than we thought we were going to be initially. They had made some adjustments defensively, and so we had to kind of line up a little bit differently, and that got us a few opportunities.
Josh had his most passing attempts over on a game. It was up to 34 this past Saturday. What have you noticed from him in that aspect of the game?
Yeah, as his performance improves and guys do what you ask them to, you start letting them do more. And I think that was the case for Josh on Saturday. I don't think we went into the game saying we need to throw it, this many times. I think we liked a couple of the matchups, personnel-wise, and maybe in some of their alignments, it was pretty good for us. I think we didn't necessarily spread the ball around as much as we thought we were going to. It got a little heavy, towards AJ a little bit, and then towards Langston, the tight ends. So I think we would like to spread it around just a little bit more. But there was also a drive at the end of the first half where we throw the ball 4 plays in a row, so that helps too when you only got X amount of time on the clock and you're trying to score. So I think that we probably would have, I know I would have made a few different play calls in different situations where maybe we were on a script that we were going to throw the football and maybe we could have ran the ball and had just as much success. I think we averaged like 7.5 or 8 yards of carry. So, we could have handed the ball off and had a lot of success on Saturday at just about any point as well.
Yeah, despite the high volume of passing opportunities, the bulk of the scoring was through the running game. A.J. Jackson, in particular, he's really become a dual threat in his own right.
Yeah, we've talked about how many times get the ball in his hands and good things tend to happen. But I was really happy, Luke Kedziarski got his first career touchdown running the ball. Josh had a rushing touchdown as a quarterback. And so I think that our guys did a good job of taking what was there. But that's also the case of when you're inside the 5-yard line, there's not a lot of space for passing. And so if you're going to be down there running the football, it tends to be what you lean on a little bit.
Defensively, another monster day for your group. You're able to immense pressure to their quarterback, 6 sacks total in that ball game, as well as 2 interceptions. There's really been a lot to like out of the team defense. Yeah,
I couldn't have been more pleased. There was a few more pressures being run, but our D-line really dominated the trenches on Saturday. The way that those guys push and play off of each other and are energized by each other's successes, that's a really special group. Whether it's the D tackles, the defensive ends, and what I really liked is when they celebrate together. And so to me, that's kind of a cool deal. But I think that they had a great job controlling the line of scrimmage, doing what they've really done all year. Jalen had a really good day, but it goes underappreciated sometimes the penetrations getting done by the tackles, whether it's Kyle Shalati, Jalen Johnson, Michael Kelly, Donovan Plummer, like the ability that they have to just collapse pockets makes plays. And I think that that's a really good thing. Nick Reek, he basically caused the first interception of the game, hitting the quarterback as he was about to throw, and then Thomas Chesro picked it off. There was just a lot of really good effort all around by our entire defense.
Jackson Sander individually also a big day for himself. He led the team in tackles with 7. He's really had a strong year overall.
Yeah, we knew graduating some of the guys we were last year that were our freshman linebackers a year ago were really going to have to step up. And Jackson, moving to a different position this year and playing the Mike position, and then Blake Ware at the will, they really feed off each other. They do a great job. They were both here all summer training and getting ready for this year. So, when a guy shows that level of commitment, they tend to see a lot of growth, and I think both those guys grew quite a bit this summer in the weight room, and that's helped them perform at a really high level for us since they've been here.
There's also another game where you hold an opposing team's offense to under 100 yards of total offense. That's now back-to-back weeks. Where do you look to key in on that as you game plan?
Yeah, I wish we could have kept the points off the board. That was our fault. We gave a fumbled snap late in the game that they returned for a touchdown, and then the blocked punt that led to their first touchdown. I think that we could have, walked out of the game giving up 3 or 0 points if we'd have played cleaner on the other sides of the ball. So I thought that was kind of unfair to the defense. If you hold people to under 100 yards, you're probably going to win the game. And I thought that, again, I think it started with our defensive line not letting the run game get going at all. They were trying some jet sweeps and some power and counter back the other way. And I thought our guys handled all of that, the different types of blocking schemes they were seeing. Obviously, I have a ton of respect for Coach Sanks and the head coach and offensive coordinator, Blade. He was our offensive coordinator for 6 years. I know how smart he is, and he had some things, cooked up and ready for us. And I thought our guys did a really good job of handling that. So keeping them under 100 yards, there can't be any complaints there. We just got to keep the points off the board in the other phases of the game, so we're not in those situations.
There's no question about it. The talk of the town has been the matchup that will unfold this Saturday on Farwell Field when the Monmouth College Fighting Scots come to town. A couple of teams right now that are undefeated in Midwest Conference play. How do you settle down the group, though, this week of practice?
We just got to go 1-0. I mean, I don't want to downplay it because everybody knows it's for the championship of the conference this year. But the reality is, if we change who we are, then that means we didn't believe what we've been doing for the last 7 weeks. And I think that we have a really strong belief in what we're doing both sides of the ball. It's going to be a really tough game. They're extremely talented. We know this. We're extremely talented. They know that. I don't think that either side's looking on the film and saying, oh, this is going to be an easy one. The last 3 games we've had have been extremely close. Last year was a 16-14 game that we lost and had a chance to win with 24 seconds to go in the game with a field goal that got blocked by them. Kudos to them. But we'd had to make a play on a blocked punt to get that opportunity. So I think it's going to be a really good game. It's going to really depend on who is able to put it together for the full 60 minutes. Last year we played about as bad a first half as we had played offensively, and part of that was because of what they were doing defensively. Part of it was on us, and then in the second half we were able to kind of fight back, and it wasn't pretty. It was one of those ugly but effective moments where we were able to get things going, but it wasn't what we wanted, and we were able to put ourselves in a chance to win. We got to play a much cleaner game than we did a year ago. I think our guys know that, and we know that they're going to be the toughest test we've faced thus far. But I think that people were saying that in week 2 when we played IC, and there might have been some other times we've said that, but I know that we're going to play a really talented team, and we've got to be ready to go.
Well, differently than last year, this game will be right here in the Forest. What advantage does that give your group to get to play this one at home?
Sleeping in our own beds is never a bad thing. I like it. I hope our guys are, it's going to be senior day. We're celebrating a really big senior class. And, I think that they'll have a lot of family here, a lot of support. And so I just hope that our guys are focused on the important things that happens between the 53 and the third and 120. If they're focused on what's going on in there and nothing else, I like our team's chances.
I'll ask you one last question. As you mentioned, it is senior day. What can you say about this senior class and what they've contributed to the program over the last 4 years?
Oh, gosh. I mean, they're the winningest class in school history. They are 2-time conference champions. They've fought to defeat teams, in a lot of different ways. They're matured in so many ways. If I go individually down the list, then you just talk about how each guy's matured during their time here. They're guys that came to the college out of COVID and have really, whether it's the super seniors who actually had that first year of COVID, or whether it's the guys who came that next year when we were recruiting during, was a really tumultuous high school experience for them. For them to come here, stick through, be here for all 4 years, and have a lot of success. They're the only guys as a senior class that have won 2 conference championships, and so I guess the guys they played with, and so I think that they want to really go out on a high, and I think that this is a great opportunity for them to do that.
All right, Forester fans, that is going to wrap up episode 10 of the Coaches Show. The Forester is back at home this Saturday. It's a meeting with the Monmouth College Fighting Scots, a 12 o'clock kickoff right here in the Forest.